Tomaters is here already. Tomaters is always here.
I know. I heard it.
Boy. All right, I think I'm on. I think everyone can hear me. And right now I've got a blanket behind me that's blowing, but I don't want to close the window because it's super hot out today, and I want the breeze. So what am I going to talk about this week to waste the first 15 minutes? I mean, to use the first 15 minutes of talking. Excellent, Tomaters, you can hear me. Great. So right now there's this big gasoline issue where the gas prices just went way up, and people are freaking out. There's a lot of stress, and in this country it doesn't really affect me directly in my everyday life that much, which is nice. But in this country, like, the main highway going down the entire country is blocked off. There's barricades like all over the place, so people can't get from one end to the other. And one thing that does affect me a little bit is like deliveries. So there's not as much food at the stores now, and you can't get propane anymore unless you go to the store and beg them for one of their last ones. And gasoline is super expensive and all that stuff. Luckily, I don't use all that stuff. I do eat food, but I mean, I'm okay still. But a lot of people are freaking out because they can't drive their boats around. Where is your motor tiller? I don't know what that question means. What's my motor tiller? Anyway, hopefully that question will be elaborated upon. But yeah, a lot of people, they can't drive their boats around, which I have to admit is kind of nice. There's a lot less traffic. It's mostly just when I go to town. There used to just be tons of boats driving all over the place and, making waves, and now there's a lot fewer, which is kind of nice, I gotta admit. But other than that, people are, kind of freaking out. And, it just seems like every... Like, originally it was every few years, and now it's and then it was like every other year, and then, where's my motor tiller for chewing up the soil? Yeah, I don't have one. Okay. So, and at this point, it seems like every 6 months or so, there's some new terrible thing that's going on, and I feel like our civilization is like this sinking ship. And, years ago, when I was a kid, I could hear, we were all on the ship, and I heard people say, "Oh, the ship's in trouble. We're going to take a lifeboat and go. Anyone who wants to get on. And like one or two people got on that first lifeboat and went and, kind of got out of the system and did something else. And then every once in a while, they're like, "Oh, the ship's in a little bit worse shape. Here's a lifeboat going." And then, hardly any people still get on. And it just seems like the more the ship sinks, the more people are clinging on to it. Like with the whole medical situation with COVID-19, like, a lot of people just clinged more to society. Like, they were locked in their houses in cities, and they're like, "Oh, now I feel scared. I have to, really cling on to the system, which is taking care of me." The thing is, it's not taking care of them, it's letting them down. But it's like, the more it lets them down, the more they cling on. It's almost like one of those marriages where you've got like the abusive person and the other person who's being abused who can't leave because emotions or something. But I feel like I've mostly gotten off the ship. I'm mostly out of the system, kind of being self-sufficient. However, I'm not all the way out. I still have to, do food, grow enough food and stuff. I still have stuff to do. But a lot of people I know are just kind of hanging out in the system that's on the sinking ship as it's going down. And they're freaking out, and they're saying, "Oh, it's terrible. What's going on? We need the ship to get fixed and start driving again." But the thing is, like, when civilizations start sinking, they don't generally come back. And I was saying this the other week. I feel like as a civilization, we've made too many mistakes to recover from what we've done. The good thing is that we still have enough resources going, people still have enough freedom in their lives and stuff they can do, that you can still get out and, move off grid, or, start a farm, or do something where you can become more self-sufficient, not so reliant on on the system. So I don't know, but it's just strange to me that so few people are choosing that. And I'm sure there are explanations about why people want to keep living in cities and, you know, do all that kind of stuff and rely on, you know, the system and all that stuff. But whenever I think about it, it always reminds me of this conversation I had a few years ago, where there was this couple who came to visit us, and they were doing a workaway thing. You know, they wanted to go somewhere and volunteer for a week in various places. But this couple really just wanted free places to stay. That's what they were really doing, which you get sometimes when you do this, you know, work volunteer thing. Anyway, they're pretty horrible the whole time. But this one conversation I had, this guy was looking at my solar powered boats and my pedal boats, and he's like, why are you wasting your time with that? And I was like, well, I like it. Like, it's what I want to do. I mean, that's all the explanation I need, right? But it's like, nah, but you don't go as fast. I mean, if you just had a gasoline motor, you could go way faster. And I was like, I don't want to go faster. I like chilling out. I want to enjoy the journey as I'm going. And he's like, no, that's not it. That's not it. You're freaking out about the gasoline because you think the gasoline is going to run out. And I'm like, well, I'm not freaking out that the gasoline's going to run out because I don't really use any gasoline. So, but it is going to run out. And he's like, no, gasoline's not going to run out. People freak out about that. Gasoline's never running out. And I was like, what are you talking about? We're using gasoline like 1,000,000 times faster than it's being produced. Oh, where are you getting your facts and figures? And I'm like, okay, whatever. It's being used only 100 times faster than it's being produced. Either way, oil is being used faster than it's being made, right? And he agreed to that. Okay, yeah. So I'm like, if you're using something faster than it's being made, eventually you're going to run out. And his whole explanation for this was, no, we didn't leave the Stone Age because we ran out of rocks. We're not going to leave the oil age because we run out of oil. And this was like a grad student in engineering. He knew math. He was definitely practicing problem-solving skills, or should be learning all this engineering stuff in school. But somehow he equated a non-consumable to a consumable. So here's the problem. I mean, I'm sure everyone already understands this, but let me explain it anyway, because this guy didn't understand it. If you have a rock and you build a house with the rock, in 400 years, the house is in ruins, the rock is still there. You can take the rock and light it on fire. You can take the rock and smash it with a hammer, and you'll have smaller rocks, but you'll still have the same amount of rock. Like, rock is not being consumed when you use it. But gasoline, you put a gallon of gasoline in your motor, and then you drive for a while. The gasoline is gone. Now, the atoms are still there, but the energy that held them in the state that was gasoline has been used up. Hold on a second. What? Dashaina is telling me to turn my volume down a little bit. She must be putting a baby to sleep or something. Anyway, you still have all the atoms, but all the energy that had been stored in that carbon and hydrogen and all that stuff that pushed it into the hydrocarbon that is oil and gasoline, all that energy has been used up. So now you don't have the same thing anymore. So you can't equate a rock to a fuel because the fuel actually gets used up. Of course we didn't run out of rocks to get out of the Stone Age. We would never run out of rocks. But we are running out of gasoline, I'll tell you that. And this isn't something that's like new. People have known about this for a long time. And it's funny how people are just staying hooked on gasoline, knowing that it's going to run out, knowing it's like driving off the end of a cliff, like driving toward a brick wall full speed, knowing the brick wall is there, but just going full speed and saying everything's fine, everything's fine, everything's fine. And like 3 inches away from the brick wall, everything's fine, then crash. Of course, you know, in the real world, the way things happen on a large scale is you don't get this sudden crash. You just kind of get this slow crash where it's like every once in a while the gasoline, jumps up, but most of the time it's just slowly easing its way up, and at some point it's just going to go, and so many things are relying on gasoline that we're going to have food shortages and all this other stuff. And it's not even just gasoline. Like, we're depleting the soil farming, like factory farming. We're factory farming animals by locking them in cages and, pumping all this garbage into the air and into the water. Like, it's like human beings are just testing how far we can push it before we're totally screwed. And it's totally insane. And I guess it's just that a lot of people are saying to themselves, nah, everything's fine. We're not going to run out of oil. Didn't run out of rocks to work our way out of the Stone Age, right? We didn't run out of rocks, so we're not going to run out of oil. Totally non-rational argument, emotional argument. All right, that's about all I have to say about that. I could go on and on about this stuff, though. So, what are you guys doing today? Let's see what we got going on here. Hurricanes are terrible summer. Dashaina's busy right now, so I'm gonna read the what are these comments myself? I can't read those, so I'm just gonna have to use telepathy. Hey Jaimie, love what you do, mate. Do magnets on electric motors gradually die, or what is most likely to wear out, bearings, etc.? Okay, on an electric motor, I think your magnets are pretty okay for a really long time. Okay, close that. The thing that wears out on an electric motor, if it's a brushed motor, it's the brushes. So you got basically magnets. Yeah, I'll do that in a second, Dashaina. So basically in a motor, you've got magnets around the outside, and this is just a basic motor, and then magnets in the middle that spin around. And the magnets in the middle are usually electromagnets, which means electricity has to get into them. But since that thing is spinning, it's hard to get the electrical copper things around in a circle, and it's real smoothed out. And then there's a couple or a few pieces of carbon that touch it, and the electricity can go through those carbon brushes into the copper, into the spinning part. The problem is the spinning part is brushing against this carbon, or maybe that's why they're called brushes, and it slowly wears it down. Now they're made pretty well. They last a long time, but they do eventually, just wear away till there's nothing left, and you have to replace the brushes. So on a brushed motor, that's the thing that's going to wear out. If you have a brushless motor, and personally, I lean toward brushed motors because the brushes are much easier to replace than the electronics on a brushless motor. So on a brushless motor, you've got, there are various ways this can happen, but you can have like permanent magnets in the middle and then electromagnets on the outside. And the electromagnets will move the magnets in the middle that'll spin your motor. But the thing is, the electromagnets on the outside have to keep changing. So that means you need electricity that's coming in either pulsed in or coming in one direction, going the other way. Either way, like whatever you do, you need your electricity changing a lot. And so you can't use direct current. So you can't just have the electricity flowing around the electromagnets because it'll set the middle thing in a certain spot and keep it there, and that's it. So you need the electricity constantly changing, alternating current or some kind of fluctuating current. And you use, at the moment anyway, we use kind of complicated electronics to do that. And that works really well. There are fewer moving parts in that motor. However, the electronics, because we make electronics all crappy and they fall apart, they burn out at some point. And I've had enough brushless motor electronics burn out to know that I would rather have brushed motors. But either way, either the electronics in the brushless motor burn out or it's the brushes. And that's the main thing that wears out in motors. Okay. Dashaina, are you talking to people in here right now? Yeah. Come upstairs. Get up here. Oh, she's taking care of the baby right now. Okay. Oh Oh, this guy just did it. Okay, I was about to say that anyone who has a question, because you know the comments kind of go by and I miss a bunch, but if you have a question, write question at the beginning, preferably in large letters, and then I'll know it's a question and I'll try to read it. So Terry has a question. If we are the only living life forms in the universe, first, that is a crazy thought. I mean, someone said we're either the only living thing or there are lots of living things, and each thing is equally terrifying. I think it's more terrifying if we're the only living things. That would be crazy. Okay, then if we're the only life forms in the universe, then all life is special, including mosquitoes. No. First, I mean, I don't think we're the only living things in the universe. There's got to be other stuff on other planets. I think there's a good chance there are space aliens right now looking at us going, oh man, what a mess down there. Let's let those humans kind of straighten themselves out before we go say hi. Because they might just blow themselves up within the next 100 years or so. In which case, we'll just wipe out the rest of them and take over their planet. But, you know, if they get through this little sticky period, maybe they'll become cool and then we can be pals. But anyway, mosquitoes. Well, I don't think... Okay, life is a funny thing. Life, I think, is special and amazing, regardless of how much of it there is. And the way I think of it is, life is special because it goes up. Like a rock will fall down. It'll roll down a hill, sit at the bottom, and just stay there. I don't know, the water will flow down. Like all the inanimate objects are just kind of subject to whatever forces around them. But life is special because it will go against the forces around it. So like a tree will grow up, which is against gravity. Grass will grow up. A human will lift something up even though gravity is pushing it down, and create something and pull something apart and put something together and put all this energy into creating something that would not otherwise happen. This is why I think life is special, because it's the thing that goes against the forces around it. Now, I would not say, I mean, I think all life is special, including mosquitoes. However, I think, yes, we're gravity defiers. My island could support a cow or a goat, yes. Sorry, I'm missing a bunch of questions here while I'm answering this, but I'll try to slip them in. But life comes and goes. You know, part of evolution is that things like Everlanders. Okay, you're here, we can begin. Okay, let's start again. No, one of the questions that always comes up in my head is, are humans as we currently are we a dead end? Are we an evolutionary dead end, or are we going to make it? I think certain humans are obviously evolutionary dead ends, you know, but because, you know, people are going to live and die. But I just mean, like, overall, as a general species, like are we going to make it or not? If we end up wiping ourselves out, you know, then we had all these cool attributes that gave us short-term amazingness that just like ended up killing us, which happens. I mean, if you follow evolutionary, come sit. If you follow evolutionary stuff, you'll see that a lot of things will develop some kind of cool characteristic that ends up killing themselves out in the end. And that's an evolutionary dead end. And humans could still be an evolutionary dead end. So another example of this would be, say there was a new kind of shark, and it was the most amazing, fastest. That shark was so successful at killing everything, it killed everything around it and had nothing left to eat, and then it would end up dying. Evolutionary dead end. All right, so what are you doing? You got some questions here? This is the Jaimo show now. It's not the Jaimie show anymore. It's the Jaimo show. It's for manly men. Although the ladies are also, of course, welcome.
They are.
You're here, so
Yeah.
you're definitely not a manly man. Yeah, you're not a manly man at all. You're not.
Okay.
Someone was concerned that I looked tired recently.
Yeah,
I did.
A lot of people were concerned.
I did post a video while I was sick. My successes. My successes video. You know, the video where I was showing a bunch of things that worked well. That was a couple weeks ago. I just hadn't edited it yet, and I did that like while I was just getting over some sickness, so I might have been tired from that. But Dashaina thinks it's mostly the lighting, because I'm like wearing a hat and then being bottom lit because I'm blocking the top. You think that's what it is? I don't know. Sometimes I don't. Do I look all right? I look a little tired right now. Oh, now I'm trying to look tired. Oh, now I'm so awake. I don't know. I think I'm all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't actually been sleeping that well.
No.
Not for a while, but not terrible. I mean, I just wake up a lot and I'm like, hey, I want to do stuff.
Supervillain lighting. That's what somebody just said.
Yeah. When I get supervillain lighting, I guess I look tireder. But you could think of it as I don't look more tired. I just look more evil.
Yeah, because you're super evil in the first place.
So you're talking quieter because you want me to talk quieter because the baby's asleep.
I do want you to talk quieter.
Sorry,
Somebody said it was hard to hear me last week, but I have to keep quieter because you get louder and then
okay. You talk quiet. You talk louder. I'll talk quieter. How's that?
That'd be awesome.
Everyone, turn up your volume. I'll try not to yell.
Yeah.
Until someone gets me on some topic where I get all worked up.
So I'm gonna just start taking questions from now. So if you post a question that has not been answered, go ahead and repost it, and then we'll get to it. So the first question I see on my list.
Wait. One thing, don't slap yourself. Haha. Yeah. I'm usually the one doing that because I talk with my hands and slap. I feel like I've been.
Move it a little bit.
I feel like I've been trying to do better without slapping my hands.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Okay, so the first question up is what Falute wants to know what kind of medical supplies that you normally store, Jaimie.
I have duct tape and I have cloth. That's my general go-to. Like if
alcohol.
I do have alcohol too.
And bleach.
But generally, if I get a cut, like say I cut a hand or something, well, it generally happens while I'm trying to do something and I'm starting to bleed all over everywhere, and then get some duct tape and wrap it around, and then I can carry on with what I'm doing. That's my usual thing.
What is your composting situation? Have you considered getting a cow or goat to add more manure and then mixing that with scraps, waste, and clay sand by Nathan Lee Animations?
Wait. Scrap waste and clay and sand. I'm trying to work on making better soil. Is that what I do? Mix poop with clay and sand and scraps?
Yeah.
Like scraps, okay, so I think I'm roughly doing all right. I gave you 3 videos to upload today. Okay. You don't have to upload them all today.
No, I'm not going to.
But one of them was about planting some stuff in a raised bed, and I piled a bunch of plant material in there and stomped it down and then put dirt on top. Now everyone's gonna watch the video and be like, I already know what this video is. So and then planted some seeds in the top. But hopefully that's doing good.
Yeah.
And we have I should talk about on my island. I have, a few raised beds that I just throw garbage into. I mean, not garbage, but food waste and dead grass and stuff. And I'm trying to compost them up so I can plant good stuff. And then I also have a banana circle, which is a mound of dirt, maybe 6 or 8 feet wide, a couple meters across. And banana trees are planted in the mound around the outside, and then in the middle there's a hole, so that's where all the scraps go, the food stuff, like banana peels and whatever. And those seem to work really well, the banana circles. Those are amazing. I've got a huge bunch of bananas right now. I need to plant some more little banana trees. And then we also have I have this digester thing, which is supposed to make methane. And someone is going to ask me, how's the methane going? And I haven't checked. However, all the stuff that goes down the sink and down the toilet and everything down the drain ends up in this digester, which makes methane supposedly, but it also makes this stinky water that's supposed to be amazing for, what do you call it? Not insulating the plants.
Compost? Fertilizing?
Fertilizing the plants. So
some people refer to that as compost tea.
Compost tea? I don't know. I just call it poop water. So it's stinky. It's just it's not necessarily made out of poop. There is some poop, but it's also just leftover food, whatever. But it basically turns into poop, when it's being digested in this big tank. But it comes out this stinky water, and occasionally I have a valve and I can get some stinky water out, and I make sure I'm not touching the spout or I'm holding the bucket where it's not going to get on me, and I just pour it on some plants. That seems to work pretty well. And I'm wondering if I need to go around digging holes and pooping in them. Do I need to start going around digging holes and pooping in them?
I mean, I guess you could do that. It
That-
would be pretty.
Then I'd get like compost all
It'd
over.
be pretty specific.
Yeah, well,
You could train Hershey to just poop in certain holes.
I could have like, I could make like an area that's like kind of marked out, like it's like a big rectangle, and then poop, like in rows, poop, and at the end of the month, when I've got like maybe 30-ish poops, 6 by 5, I can measure it by poops. I've got 6 by 5 poops, and then I can plant stuff on there, and then people can say, "Oh, what's that garden size?" I go, 6 by 5 poops. And then it could plant like popcorn. I know I need to plant things other than popcorn. I planted a bunch of peppers in the video that I was talking about in the raised bed. But yeah, I can plant stuff above the poop holes.
I want to go to another question. Would that be okay? Okay, great. If the jobs Gerard W. Sorry, double do.
Oh, you said it wrong.
I did.
Double do.
Question: if the jobs actions people do push the world towards a dystopia or utopia, what jobs/actions exist that push the world more towards a utopia aside from practicing sustainability?
Well, I think so. Anything sustainable doesn't count because that was other than sustainability. But if you're not doing things sustainably.
Well, I think he's saying so. Obviously, practicing sustainability.
No, but I think this is an important thing.
Okay.
Because practicing sustainability, that's what everyone has to do all the time. Like everything you're doing has to be like. Basically, this is part of the problem is people are just not thinking about it like sustainability is something we should just always be doing. Kind of like how you're always breathing, you're always making sure you eat enough so you don't die. You should always be trying to do things in some kind of sustainable way. And anytime you're not doing something sustainably as a group, as a society, it means we're heading off the cliff, man. What?
I think he's trying to say, like, are there any, or ask if there's any jobs in your opinion, like, obviously practicing life in general being sustainable, but like he would like to work and earn money probably, so he's just
this is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
This is I'm answering the question. Cool. You just don't.
No, maybe I'm not understanding that.
Part of the problem I think is that the way people are thinking about it is not getting us in the right direction. So people are thinking like for instance, what job? So I can just give a list of the jobs you could do, and then people say, oh, well, okay, I can get that job and I'm good. It's kind of like going to the store and looking at all the different products, and this one has a green label. Oh, if I just buy the green label, everything's good, right? But no, you have to actually just kind of get off the system where everything is labels and actually pay attention. Think about what you're doing, think about what's going on. Specific job, you could think of pretty much any job and you could do it in a sustainable way or a not sustainable way, right? Mm-hmm. Even people who are recycling, supposedly that's supposed to save the world. Do we just recycle? We can keep reusing the stuff, except recycling operations for the most part just are using huge amounts of energy. And in a lot of cases, it's actually better to just throw stuff away and make it new. Now, in terms of practices, okay, if you wanted to have a job that is going to help, start a company where you manufacture things that last. That would be a huge step in the right direction. Because right now, all these companies are manufacturing disposable everything. So, just everything is disposable now. Even the most like a car. Car lasts 5 years and falls apart. You can keep it together for a while, but it keeps. Oh, am I smacking? But it's a losing battle. Anyway, and then. Something like you could say, well, farmers, they're making food, but you can do the factory farm deal where you're destroying the land, wiping out the nutrients in the soil, creating just barren wastelands, or you can grow things in a way where you're planting different plants that kind of work together. Maybe you got some animals in there to poop on the stuff. Because the thing is, like anything you do, there's a way to do it destructively, or there's a way to do it creatively. And like you can think that just being alive means you have to consume stuff. But if you really think about it, like I and a tree are both alive and we do things the other needs. Like I poop out food for the tree makes, depends on the tree of course, but the tree, makes fruits that I can eat. I breathe out the air the tree breathes in. See, both doing our things, we're supporting the other. And the reason that whole system works is because of the sun. I mean, as long as the sun is pumping energy into the system, then we just have to not be stupid, not destroy things. And unfortunately, just our society is set up to be kind of dumb, mostly because people are chasing money instead of trying to do what's right. And then people end up getting told that there are specific choices that you can do, like the question about what's your job. People think of the world as specific jobs, like you stick a label on yourself and that's what you are. But to be a real human being, you gotta put all those labels aside and think, what is the right thing to do here? Like what is my moral obligation as a living creature? What should I be doing? And I think that's the way we need to start thinking more. And this goes back to what I was saying a couple weeks ago about we need to get off laws and onto morality. Like stop having rules decide, trying to define every specific action we can do, and instead look inside ourselves and say, okay, what should I do? What is the good thing to do here? What will get the best results? Did I answer your question at all?
Oh, I think so. So the next question is, we just had it and I can't find it.
And I don't mind if people think I'm crazy.
Can I visit your island by boat?
Probably. Are you crazy? Are you wearing a bomb? If you're a nice person, then probably, yeah.
Junkyard Josh wants to know, do you have any tips for breaking up bedrock, in parentheses, Canadian Shield, Northern Ontario?
Depends what you're trying to do, but, oh man, it's hard. Like if you have to do a lot, like dynamite, but I've never done it.
Jeff Krupke is not satisfied with our answer about Belize last week, so he is asking the question again, and that is, what does Jaimie think of Belize?
Well, I've never been there, but I just say I shouldn't say we. I did look at some land in Belize just on the internet. I didn't actually look at it, but I chose Panama over Belize, partly because of hurricanes, largely because of hurricanes. Yeah, that was a major factor in choosing to live here, because I don't know, if you've never experienced like a hurricane or like some kind of natural disaster, it's really hard to get a grasp of the destruction. And I've never been in a full-blown hurricane, but I've been like close enough to a hurricane that I was like, whoa, whoa, like that will destroy things. And there's nothing you can do. I mean, there's I guess you can get in a Jaeger if you're in the Pacific Rim and get in your giant robot and hope it doesn't get torn apart. But yeah, I mean, a hurricane will just wipe things out. You can do all this work to create this amazing place.
Question. Jasper Edwards would like to know, the question is, diving gear for salvage and treasure for making stuff, a good idea or not?
That's a great idea. Although for the most part, I don't want like scuba tanks personally. This is just my own personal thing. Cause like I guess, it would be useful if there was something real deep that you really wanted. But for the most part, I want to practice hold my breath. And I've done enough like free diving to know that with some practice, you can get like really good amounts of time holding your breath.
I was watching that thing about the mermaid, the girl who does like mermaid. She's a mermaid, like professional mermaid, and she can hold her breath for like 3 or 5 minutes, somewhere in between.
Like while swimming around and waving at people. Yeah. Yeah, like when we
studied with some free divers, like they taught her what to do and stuff. So.
When we went to the Bahamas, the winter before we moved here, I was diving for fish a lot, and we were there for a couple months, and yeah, by the end of that, I could like go underwater and do stuff for a couple minutes, like being active without feeling like I was really strained. That was really cool. But yeah, when I get some more of my current things, when I get some things off my plate, I do want to do more salvaging, you know, because there's stuff around.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your question?
So Astral Economics wants to know, what is the best country when it comes to freedom, law, and climate, and is the best to purchase an island?
Outer space. I don't know. I mean, we chose Panama.
Yeah. I would say we chose Panama for all those reasons.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good. I don't know if it's the best, but once we got here, at least for me, like once I picked it, I was like, okay, I'm putting all my eggs in this basket and we're going. And now I don't really know about other places, but here is pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's pretty good. Way, way better than like Canada or the United States or Chile, or I mean, I can think of a lot of countries that Nicaragua, yeah. Belize. I mean,
Peru.
And some of these things are opinions, but a lot of them are just like
Colombia,
like freedom, like just basic freedoms. I think to get basic freedoms, it really helps to go to a place where there's not too much money. Because once there's a lot of money in a place, people want the money and they come in with rules and try to figure out how to siphon money out of the people who are there. So if you want more freedom, go to a place where there's less money and less people paying attention to it, you know?
The Silver Age Surfer, sorry, I don't know what I'm throwing in there, apparently found
Just call him the Silver Surfer.
Through the Ben Fogel show, and he says that we mentioned something about it being a bad experience. He'd like us to elaborate on that because he's also had an experience of TV manipulating their story.
Oh, it was just like they came and, you know, what do they call? What's it called when they say all kinds of nice things? They blew flowers up our butt and said, "Oh yeah, you know, we're was it
smoke up our ass?" Yeah,
we're all interested in, you know, showing the beauty of off-grid living and all this stuff. And then they got here and all they were interested in what was wrong is what was wrong. Yeah. At one point, the lady director had her cameraman under the outhouse, like videoing poop, like right up close. And I went over and I was like, "What are you guys doing? Yeah. Go do something else. You're here to look at our poop." Mm-hmm. And it's like everybody poops, but you don't. That's not. It's just so stupid. And like they weren't interested in any inventions or any of the cool stuff we were doing, or did they even show anything we were growing or anything? I don't know. It was just. No. Oh, and they showed like, oh God, they were just so intent on crapping on homeschooling, so they tried to set up this terrible homeschooling scene, which was nothing like we school the kids at all.
Well, we did a homeschooling scene of how I schooled them, but that didn't go in the show.
Yeah, that wasn't in the thing. I did a thing with them too, where I was teaching them something outside and we were having fun. No, but they got video of the kids sitting there going, "What is going on?" while they're trying to force them to sit there and do some boring, dumb thing. And they're like, "See, this is homeschooling, it's terrible." And they just crapped on everything. Yeah. And I know they got video of some cool stuff, but they didn't use any of it. Yeah. And I know they got video of cool stuff because I was there. And I think the only reason they were videoing some of the cool stuff was just to kind of keep us happy. It's like, "Oh yeah, we'll show this amazing stuff." And then it was just I watched the episode and I was just like, that wasn't remotely interesting. Like there was nothing interesting going on. They skipped all the cool stuff, you know? And then, yeah. The best show I've ever been on was Ryan Miller's show. It was it was in Vermont. It was just what's it called? Public cable access, whatever you call it. And the show is called Making Friends with Ryan Miller.
It's on YouTube now.
Oh yeah, it's on YouTube. But Ryan Miller, he's
hilarious.
What is he? The lead singer of Guster, yeah. But he wanted to do this show.
Ryan Miller, we love you.
Ryan Miller, you did the best show. Anytime I talk to him, I always tell him that was
like brothers with your hair.
Oh yeah, ridiculous. Anyway, yeah, we got along really well and everything. And you know, he was there to actually, you know, show cool stuff and be like, "Here's an interesting guy doing some cool stuff," and he was actually interested. That was the best show I've been on. And I've been on, the news a few
The
times.
Discovery
And
Show, I think they did a good job too.
yeah, I don't remember that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that one was
They
all
were
right.
really nice people. Also.
Still, it wasn't as good as Ryan Miller's.
No,
he did the best one because like he was genuinely interested.
Yeah.
And he was the one in charge of the stuff. It was just like him, a camera person, and I think they had one other person.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like a whole crew of people who were like
No.
obnoxious and didn't care and whatever. That was cool.
Jeff S. would like to know, do you grow katuk and or moringa?
Yes. So we have tons of katuk.
Thanks to Dashaina.
Yeah, Dashaina went. Oh, did you just roll your eyes?
The katuk was also thanks to me.
No, I know you were responsible for bringing both of those plants here. So the katuk we've had for years.
Yeah.
And you have a katuk forest out there. I mean, I
even braid the plants together. And they
if we got to a point where the gasoline got so bad and the protests and whatever, there's no food, we could eat katuk.
Yeah.
And all turn green. And actually, the katuk berries I really like them.
Too.
They're like
love them.
They taste like sweet peas. But anyway, you recently got a moringa tree.
Two
moringa trees.
Yeah, you have them both.
So I have both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure I got two?
Yes, positive.
Okay, I have two moringa trees, and I showed them in the.
One was kind of like not doing so great.
Okay, those were both moringas.
Yeah.
Okay, because you told me one was something else. Yeah. But I thought but they're both doing good right now. They're both getting leaves.
Like a skinny little...
No, they're both growing great, and those are supposed to have really nutritious leaves, right?
Yeah.
So the plants are, I don't know, a couple feet tall right now, like less than a meter, but they're healthy and they're growing. Everything's good, and every time I do a video where I'm outside, I kind of try to show the trees I planted in that one video, I don't know, a couple months ago, to kind of show the progress. So in the video where I did the raised beds, where I was planting peppers that I just gave you, I showed the trees in that, and everyone's doing good.
So Jasper Edwards did ask if you had diving gear for salvaging treasures. Well,
I have myself, and I have a mask. I do have a snorkel, but I don't think that would be that useful for diving down. I have flippers, and I have a knife, stainless steel diving knife.
Apparently, the Insult investor made an electric outboard with a treadmill motor and a long shaft, and he said it works great so far.
Treadmill motors overheat very easily. I did that. That was one of the first motors I tried here. It worked amazing for like a minute or two, but it overheated so easily.
Yeah, he was going to test it out in the ocean today or tomorrow.
Okay, just be careful. It might overheat. So I'm not saying don't do it or anything. Just be prepared.
Let's see. Any other questions? Did you answer the question if we are the only living life forms in the universe?
That might be a different one. If we were the only living life forms? Are we the only living life forms in the universe? No, if we are the only living life forms in the universe, then all life is special, including mosquitoes? Yeah, I answered that.
You already answered that.
I was talking about how life is gravity to fire. Someone summed it up as that.
Terry Zamboni. Anyway.
Zamboni?
No, I just like...
Zamboni?
Yes, Zamboni.
She didn't even know what a Zamboni is.
I did know. I just don't know that's what it's called.
What did you guess? You said something about...
Like a sandwich?
Oh, yeah. You guessed it was you guessed it was a sandwich, and you guessed it was a hockey player. Hockey player was the closest.
I knew it had something to do with, like, ice.
For anyone who didn't grow up in a cold country like Canada, a Zamboni is the big truck they drive around on the ice to smooth it out.
So in my defense, I ice skated for years.
That is not in your defense.
They don't call it that in Florida. That's not what it's called. It was called the ice, like the ice.
None of this is in your defense.
Anyway, I'm just saying, I didn't know. I wouldn't have known that anyway. Whatever. Do you...
Adult investor.
Where do you live and ever wanted to sail the ocean?
Yeah. Where do I live is the first part?
Yeah, I already answered that part though.
Okay. Well, we live in Panama we live in the Caribbean Ocean.
Yeah.
And I've wanted to sail the ocean. If I was I would love to have done that instead of going to university. Like there are so many things I could have done instead of like wasting time at university, but at this point I mostly want to get set up to be self-sufficient. Although I do want to have a boat capable of going anywhere.
So none of your boats are like that now?
I mean, in good weather,
Right.
But like, I mean, like, I want to have a boat where we could like do an ocean crossing.
Totally. Let's see, there was a question. Do you plan on putting battery packs back on your big boat you're currently restoring?
I don't know.
Are they talking about the black boat?
The shark slicer, the big boat, the big black boat.
The big construction boat?
Yeah, the cargo boat. My biggest boat. I think that's what they're talking about. I don't know. Well, I want to put pedal power on it. And I want to make sure at least 2 people can pedal. And then I want to have solar panels in the motors. But yeah, the battery question, I don't know. I think what's going to happen is at first, I'm not going to have batteries. And then I'll probably go with no batteries unless some battery company wants to donate batteries, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
And there's been a bit of mention of that, but what?
So I was reading about different batteries, and apparently they're coming out with, well, they've been testing them for like the last 20 years or whatever. But there's this battery, it starts with a Z, and I'm totally going to call it the wrong thing.
The Zamboni battery? It's a Zam battery.
It's like
one day I'm going to meet a girl who laughs at my dumb jokes.
I do. I just laugh at them in my head because I don't really want to encourage them.
Yeah, well, why not?
So the name of the stuff, it's like Zandium or something.
Okay, whatever, move on.
So
Zamboni batteries.
So they're pretty cool, supposedly, because they outlast like the lithium batteries. They don't catch on fire, and they run off of, I think these are ones that like run off of water or something like that. I don't know. It was like 2 or 3 different battery types, but it's cool because they're starting to expand on the chemical like makeup of batteries to like make better batteries than what we currently have available.
Well, that sounds great. Yeah, the problem right now with lithium batteries is they're so delicate, like because they have all those
light on fire.
Well, that too. I did have ones. They didn't light on fire, but they melted.
Yeah.
I didn't end up showing that because it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It just happened all too quick, and anyway. Yeah, if I want some batteries to be more robust, because like I'm kind of tempted to go back to lead acid batteries, because the nice thing about lead acid batteries is, one, they're not constantly discharging like crazy. And the lithiums, you don't pay attention to them for a couple weeks and they're dead, and it's like, oh, great. But then they also need all the electronics to balance them and everything. And, 1 drop of water gets on that, or it gets too humid or something, they're...
Yeah, apparently they don't work really well in very cold climate because of the way the chemical reaction works. But anyway, so the insult investor.
The insult investor. I've got to invest in some of these.
Know if we have room for him to haul out his 46-foot, 111-year-old sailboat and work on it. He'll exchange work for space.
Yeah, dude, come on. No, as long as you're not a dick. Yeah, you can just
send us an email and we can talk about it.
My island has a deep spot.
Guess what?
Oh, my stomach
The email address is in the description.
Oh, yes. So feel free to email us. Check in the description. The email's down there. It's the adventurebuildermovie@gmail.com. Just it's in the description, which is great.
Okay.
But yeah, I have deep water right next to my island on one side. Like most of it gradually goes up, but one side is deep.
So Ian Hanshin wants to know, what would you tell an extended family member to do if they were worried about collapse? I think it means like the economy and stuff.
Extended family member? I don't even talk to most of my family. What would I tell them if they are worried about the collapse of the economy?
I'm guessing you're talking about the
like economy. They're worried about the stuff hitting the fan
about,
situation.
Collapsing from a heart attack or something.
Oh man, where do you start? It's like, get out of the system.
Yeah.
Like, don't rely on the sinking ship. Like that's basically what it comes down to. Don't cling to something that's going down, because you're going down with it.
So, but how does somebody get out of this? I mean, obviously you can't just decide
right now,
today, okay, I'm done with the system and done.
Right, that's the problem.
So how do you work towards
Get out of debt, save money, buy your way out of the system. Like first, if you can't save any resources, if living in a city you can't save any money, you're not going to be able to live off grid, because everything is harder than that. I mean, compared to living here, saving money while living in a city and having a job is a piece of cake. All you do is just not spend it. Presuming you can get a job. Oh, my stomach is growling.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, if you actually want to not, if you're actually concerned that the system's going down, you don't want to go down with it, save as much money as you can as quickly as possible, and then buy some land somewhere, plant some food, make a house, just make yourself generally self-sufficient. Like get off as many bills as you can. Make your life as not reliant on money as possible.
And can I add something to this that I'm noticing from
Yes.
like people that are directly in my life? I'm not talking about us, but it also includes like making those purchases of things that you think are like super trivial, like when you buy like a soda or you buy a box of like crackers.
That's all part of saving your money.
Like, that counts, because like that's an extra $2 or $3 that could go towards whatever. And like I watch friends that are living here now, and I watch the things that they buy when they go to the grocery store, and they're always talking about how they like don't have any money ever. And I think to myself, well, that would be
the problem
extra
is
rice for
it's never $2 or $3.
Right.
It's like $2 or $3 plus another $2 or $3 plus another $5 plus another $2 or $3, and like in a year it ends up being like $5,000 or $10,000, and it's like, well, that just got flushed down the drain.
Right.
If you didn't like smoke the cigarettes or drink the soda or eat the chocolate bars, if you just took all that stuff out, first you'd be healthier and you'd have more money, as long as you could get off the mindset that you have to spend whatever you have. Like you have to start thinking about, well, here's the way I thought about it. When I was saving money, I thought about the more money I save, the more freedom I'm buying. So like anytime I could save $5, I'm like, I just bought $5 worth of freedom. Because like once you run out of money, that's when you get thrown in jail or kicked out of your house or whatever, right? So as long as you have money, you can keep the man off your back. So saving money is buying freedom. That's the way I used to think about it. And I'd be like, what would I rather have, like a chocolate bar or $1 worth of freedom? Like I'll take the $1 worth of freedom, man.
So another question is kind of relating to this, is progress inevitable?
No. That's at least that's my first thought. No, definitely not. But I mean, you could elaborate on that a lot, but yeah, I wouldn't count on. This goes back to, I mean, I'm going to presume they're talking about like the human species in general. Like we could very well be an evolutionary dead end. Like we could get so good at manipulating our environment, but not having sufficient whatever interest in our own self-preservation or not enough caring about the world around us or whatever. Like we could destroy everything around us to the point where we all die. Like that could very reasonably happen. Then we're an evolutionary dead end.
I really want to click the thing and put the bubbles filter on, so we have little bubbles floating around.
Oh, do it. Will it show to other people or just us?
Yeah, it shows to everybody. I saw it recently.
All right, this is going to take like 20 minutes. We shouldn't do it.
I just wanted to see which one it was.
Wouldn't it be called bubbles?
No, well, that's weird because there used to be more of them. There was one, it was really funny. It was totally bubbles. It was my favorite one. Oh, I don't see it anymore.
I think that might just be in the chat thing.
No, I've done my lives with bubbles. Yes.
You got your lives done with bubbles?
Yeah, I got my lives done with bubbles. And Eric was totally entertained with it.
Oh my God. I feel ripped off now.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to get a bubble machine and just make our own bubbles. Did you just say the SH word? You swore first.
No, I actually said ass earlier too. Oh. So, and I'm sure
I skipped over like 6 swear words already. We swear in real life. Yeah. My kids swear too.
Yeah, at least 4,000 times a day.
But they swear when it's appropriate. I figured if I just gave them the swear words, they would just use them as appropriately. Whereas if you restrict the swear words, then they got all excited that they, when they find one out, and then they use it a lot, And we don't live in a place where it's going to matter. That's one of the good things about homeschooling. You don't have to worry about your kids swearing, because they go to school and swear, they get in trouble.
Okay, so there was a question. I thought it was kind of relevant. I can't figure out where it was. Oh, some guy was asking about a biodiesel beltless motor. He wanted to know if you would build one, but now I can't find the
Probably
question.
Not. I don't know where I'd get enough biodiesel. And someone's going to say, just go to the fryers in town and get the...
Yeah, but you have to get there.
But like, how many people can that support? Like, there aren't that many fryers. I'm sure. I know at least one person who's got a biodiesel truck in town. So he's probably going around getting all the fryer oil. I just don't want to be reliant on that. Like I want to be able to do stuff where I am. I don't want to have to be like, oh, I got to go visit this place and beg them for their oil and, you know.
Tree wants to let you know that this is the best show you've ever been on.
This one?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because you were saying.
Like today?
No.
Or just in general?
You were talking about TV shows that you've been on. And so.
Well, that's very nice to say. I don't entirely believe it. But
apparently Todd Kegas sent the battery-powered DC AC unit to us.
What's that?
I don't know.
The battery-powered DC AC unit?
AC, air conditioning.
Oh.
I didn't even know anything about it.
Oh.
I mean, I did know that we were talking about it. But
wait, the battery? Oh, AC. Okay, AC. Yeah, no. I was like AC
the
DC.
Aircon unit.
Because AC means
I realized that now.
Alternating current. Also means air conditioning. Okay, a battery-powered DC air conditioner.
Yeah.
So when did he send it?
I have no idea.
Is it? We didn't miss it, right?
No.
It would be on a container
that's
just
the next recently.
The next container that's coming.
The container leaves on the 27th, so I don't know when it'll.
What's today?
So today is the 24th. 5th.
All right. So in a few weeks it'll be here.
Yeah.
So wait, it leaves the U.S. in 3 days.
Yeah, supposedly. Okay. I mean, I haven't checked recently.
Right. I know it changes. So the way we get stuff here from the United States, like if we order stuff on Amazon or online anywhere or anything, we get stuff sent to a guy in Florida, and then every month-ish, he sends a full container of our stuff and a whole bunch of other people's stuff down to town, and then I go get it. And I showed a video recently when I took a trip to go get a whole bunch of stuff. Usually we don't get so much stuff because, you know, we have to pay for it, obviously.
Okay, hold on. I think I'm missing. So I'm just trying to find.
Are you doing?
What are some future plans for remodeling homes on both islands? Any colorful painting ideas or art inside the interiors?
Well, it's funny. Today I was outside with my son cooking some soup, and I was looking at my house, and I said, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe my house is all spackled. This is amazing." And he looked at it, and he's like, "That looks nice, Jaimie." And then he's 4, and I was like, you know, I could paint it now. I could paint the whole outside, not the roof yet, but like the whole thing. And he's like, wow, what color would you paint it? And I was like, green and camouflage. So it would basically blend in with the forest. So I think, it's not like a high priority or anything, but like, I'd kind of like to paint my house green camouflage, like green and brown and black, and, you know, just make it like basically blend in with the world, like the trees around me and stuff. And on the inside, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do, but the thing that's in my head is, so my interior walls basically look like waffles, like giant waffles. Like there's these big squares that kind of, the square part sticks out, and then there's a recessed square inside. And I was thinking about painting the flat wall, the recessed squares blue, and then the parts that stick out yellow, or maybe brownish. I don't know why I'm thinking yellow. Maybe
Yellowish.
not brown. Yellowish.
Reddish.
Yeah. Well, if I paint them yellow, they're gonna be yellow. Yeah. If I paint them brown, they would just be brown. But then I could make it look kind of like sky behind, and there'd be like the square framework. And then on the blue part, I could paint like clouds and stuff, and, you know, naked ladies or whatever, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and on my floor, I'm not sure which floor, maybe on the first floor or the third floor, I want to paint a giant adventure builder symbol. Not this adventure builder symbol, the one with all the virtues and principles and stuff.
In the show.
Oh, it used to be
in the show thumbnail for the earlier shows.
Yeah, it's in the, yeah.
Yeah. Freddie Crochet says you need to do a call-in show.
Freddie Crochet. Could we do it? We could, well, this kind of.
We would have to run it through a different server, but it can be done on YouTube through a different thing.
This is
on a laptop.
Kind of like a call-in show because people can text in.
It would be cool though if people would like be talking.
Yeah, I know. That would be so exciting. Would that be good though?
We could do that through Discord.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it would be like a voice show. Anyway.
Have you done that yet?
No, not yet, because I have other things going on.
Yeah.
What? I already asked that. Oh, apparently the insult investor is back, and he said, I tested it. This is talking about the motor.
Yeah. This is the treadmill motor.
Treadmill motor.
Okay.
I tested it for 10 minutes, no heat. I ran it on 12 volts. It's rated for 24.
Oh, you should be fine then. Yeah, totally good.
Cool.
Awesome.
Okay. How is the roof going?
It's going pretty good. I got the first 2 rows done. Well, except right around the door where I come inside and out. There's like, I don't know, I have like 1 square to do there. But I stopped for a couple days because I had a hole in my thumb. You know, when you use cement, it like wears through your fingers. So.
Oh, speaking of doing cement wearing through your fingers, one of your smoosher thing.
Well, that's part of the
wrist,
problem.
But I don't think enough room to do that. Like.
Well, yeah, part of the issue is like to do all the stuff I need to do. It's much easier to not have any kind of stick on my smoosher thing, my spatula, my swiper,
what the word was.
my thing.
The smoosher.
But the problem, and that actually hasn't been a problem, but my hand does get in the cement a little bit. But what's more of a problem is when I'm scrubbing. I didn't really show this, but before I put the tiles on, I go up there with a bucket with a tiny bit of soap in it. Like it's almost all just water, just a little bit of soap. And, you know, I'll water and scrub the building because I want to make sure it's really clean, no algae or anything before I put the tile on. And when I'm scrubbing with my scrub brush, you know, every once in a while I'll scrape a knuckle or an edge of my thumb or something. It's like, ah. So that's what wears out cut. It's just like kind of eats away at it more.
So speaking of the cleaning the cement before you go, I was watching this video of this guy fixing a crack in a sidewalk. That's not the important thing. But the interesting thing was how he cleaned it. First was he took one of those drill bits that has the brush at the end, and he like cleaned it out really well. And I thought, oh man, that's like a cool idea. And then I thought, could I do something like that if I was repairing cracks in like my concrete?
Yeah.
And why would I not want to do that? Okay.
Yeah.
You don't have any of those things, right?
Yeah, like a wire brush.
Is that what
circular wire brush? You just stick on the end of a drill.
Yeah.
Do you want one?
Yeah, I do.
Well, you can come look at my supply.
Because I want to test it out before I get my own. Like if it.
Just you can have one.
Oh, cool. You guys heard him say that I could have one. I'm not stealing it. So in like 2 years, when he comes back, I stole it from him. This is the moment. Where are we right now? 1 hour, 3 minutes, and 4 seconds.
So anyway, this was a while ago. There was a guy selling a bunch of tools on Craigslist, and I ended up paying him $500 for like just tons of stuff. He sent me.
Paint Dashaina.
I could paint Dashaina. Cover up this mess. You're beautiful. You're beautiful.
Whatever.
Doesn't mean I have to like you though. Just kidding. But yeah, I got a little tub of like wire brushes that go on the end of a drill, so you can have one.
Thanks.
You're
welcome. I can have it.
You can have it, and it's yours.
Be my drill brush thing. What's it called? No, what is it called?
Look, when I actually give you stuff, that's not a problem. It's when you take my stuff.
I know. I just want to.
And then I'm like,
this is like something
I've been looking for this for weeks, and it's like sitting outside in your yard,
That's okay.
and I'm like,
so what is this thing called that's giving me?
It's just a wire brush.
Okay, cool. Yes,
circly wire brush.
Thing.
A drill wire brush.
Do you ever happen to have any extra like concrete adhesive bonding stuff that I could also test out?
How much do you need? I have some.
Like a cup?
I have like 5 gallons.
How much
you can have a little.
Okay, cool.
I put like a little splash in like half a bucket.
Need, so like a cup then.
Yeah, I don't know how much I'm supposed to be using, but.
Okay. Yeah, I could use a cup. Anyway, moving along. So question, what about syngas?
Well, if I could just...
I don't know what that is.
I've sinned plenty. I mean, are we talking about like
S-Y-N
Christian sinning?
Gas.
Because I sin plenty.
I think synthetic might be what I was talking about.
Synthetic gas. Isn't it all synthetic gas? I don't know.
I don't know. It
we need some elaboration on this.
You cannot take the questions.
I can see him.
No, closed.
I can... No, I'm gonna look. Okay, what's it? Just we need some elaboration on.
It just says.
Where is it?
What about syngas?
I don't know what syngas is.
I don't either.
I mean, I fart.
Can you expand on your question?
I'm guessing he's talking about gasoline that you synthetically make.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
So, let's see. Wait.
You got hairs on you.
Regarding the zip line. Bob.
We could just use zip ties. Yeah.
Bob Crotchet.
Bob Crotchet, yeah.
Regarding the zip line between islands that yachts would hit with masts, can you make a submersible one that you wind up into position when needed? Oh, that just sounds like a disaster.
Oh yeah, that'd be totally great. Just you leave it.
Because then wait. But aside from the mast, they have the thing. What's the thing that's in the water?
Just imagine it's been sitting down there for a couple weeks, crusted with barnacles. You wind it up, you zip down, and it's just like all these barnacles are cracking off in your face.
Anything you would make like something that went up. Like you wouldn't
want I could just get in my boat and drive over there.
I know, but I'm saying if you were stuck to that idea, you would want to go up, not down. Because even if you went down, they still have what's the thing called draft? What's the thing?
Well, you could put it right on the bottom. If it's a steel cable, it'll sink to the bottom.
Yeah, but it's gonna catch something.
No, it will go right over. It doesn't matter though. We're not doing that.
Drops their anchor and grabs the zip line.
And drags it
Anyway,
away.
Moving along. Okay.
We're not putting half a mile of zip line up.
So let's see if there's any tomatoes.
I don't want her to be able to get to my house that easily anyway.
I'd like to know if we could get a couple more thumbs up.
Can we get a couple more thumbs up? That would be great.
Yeah. More thumbs up.
More thumbs up. You're okay. This is one of the funny things about Dashaina. Her thumbs are like the same size as mine.
They're not.
Your hand is like half the size, but like
my thumb is
quit moving your thumb down.
This is my skinny thumb.
Look at,
by the way.
Yeah, this is your big thumb. She has giant thumbs.
It's a little smaller than yours.
No, it's like no. Stop trying to make it look small. Stick it up. You're like shrinking it. There. Now you're sticking it up. Look at this thumb. It's huge.
It's tiny compared to yours.
You're half my weight almost.
Anyway.
And your thumbs are the same size.
I'm not half your weight. Am I half your weight?
Nah, you're more than that.
Yeah.
You've been half my weight. Pretty close.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever really been half your weight though.
You've known me when I was over 200 pounds, and you've been pretty close to 100.
Yeah, that's true. Is that your belly?
That's my stomach. I must be hungry.
Are you hungry?
Today? I'm all right.
Okay. Well, anyway, tomatoes just gave a pile of thumbs up.
Nice.
Yeah.
They're all from the same hand.
Apparently impotent Mitt.
I just
child thinks I have beautiful thumbs.
They are beautiful thumbs. They're just she could whack you and knock you out.
This one way better than my other one, so I'm not going to show you the other one because my other one's all weird.
Why is it weird? Because you sucked on it when you were a kid.
Yeah, I did. Oh my god, my mom tried everything to get me to stop doing that. And
why? That's a great skill to have.
10.
Yeah, but when you get older.
Anyway, that's where I answered it. What's for lunch?
I don't know. What is for lunch?
I don't know. That's what Reed Cook would like to
I brought over some sourdough dough.
I made some sourdough bread also.
Really?
Yeah.
So you started making it now again too?
I made it last night. I was just bored.
You were just bored.
No.
Well, I guess we have like 2 loaves of sourdough bread coming.
Chicken.
And we have chicken. Yeah, that's right.
I
we
was
just
gonna
got
make chicken salad.
This morning we went to the store before we did the
party.
We're supposed to be going to a party later, yeah. But this morning we went to the store and got chicken.
Yeah. 3.5 pounds.
And we got flour, because you said you're almost out of flour.
I could make chicken, little chicken nugget finger strip things.
You know what was delicious the other day that we had was onion rings made with sourdough.
Yeah.
Those were good, weren't they?
Yeah.
Those
were
delicious.
really good. We should make some.
I made those.
They didn't have onions when we went to store.
Yeah, we don't have onions anyways. It doesn't matter. But you could do the same thing with chicken.
Somebody would like us to talk about the protests?
Oh, so I don't know much about the protests, but right now, so we're at one end of Panama, and all the way at the other end of Panama is where like all the stuff is, like the civilization, the part that would get bombed in World War III.
Probably.
So all the way at the other end of Panama, and Panama's kind of like long and skinny. It's like a hot dog. We're all the way at one end, and Panama City.
And like for perspective, it's like 12 hours in a bus.
Yeah, the canal, and all the fancy stuff is at the opposite end of Panama.
Major airport. Yeah,
the major airport. Like if we wanted to fly somewhere, we'd get in an airplane in the little airport here, fly to Panama City, and then there's an international airport there.
We could get to China.
Or we could take a bus from here to, well, not from right here, but we'd have to get to the bus in a boat. Yeah. But we could take a bus, which is a 12-hour drive to Panama City. Yeah. So Panama City is where everything's coming in and going out. And then there's one major highway that runs the Pan American Highway. Is that what it's called? Isn't it?
Oh, yeah. And they're actually extending it to over here.
Oh, Great. Anyway.
It's called the Pan American Highway.
Okay, so it runs the length of the country.
Right.
And right now, people are pissed off that the gas prices like suddenly shot up, which I understand.
Right.
To like $8 a gallon from like $3 or $4. I mean, it just kept creeping up, and then suddenly it was like, bam!